Power Book 4 for Season 3 is setting the stage for Tommy Egan to claim Chicago like never before. The trailer doesn't just tease action, it confirms Tommy's hunger to take over every corner of the city. This isn't the same Tommy we knew in New York. He's building something bigger, something stronger, and the question is, can he actually hold it all together? The trailer makes one thing clear: Tommy isn't satisfied with the small piece of Chicago he grabbed last season. He wants more. In fact, every scene we see of him points toward one single goal: building an empire that stretches far beyond what the Flynn family once controlled. After Walter Flynn's downfall, there's a vacuum in the city. The power structure is broken, the families are scattered, and everyone is looking for a leader who can bring strength back into the game. Tommy sees that opening, and like always, he's stepping in with no hesitation. What makes this storyline so powerful is that it's not just about street corners or drug deals anymore. Tommy is thinking like a kingpin. He's ready to turn his small operation into a full empire. We see him meeting with different crews, shaking hands, and putting together deals that will expand his reach. Chicago isn't just a city to him now, it's a chessboard. Every move matters. Every alliance has consequences. And every enemy he makes will push back harder than before. But expansion doesn't come easy. The trailer shows flashes of bigger enemies on the horizon. People who aren't just hustlers, but organizations with real power. Rival gangs, outsiders trying to move into Chicago, and of course, people still loyal to the Flynns. Tommy may want it all, but the bigger the territory, the bigger the target on his back. His ambition could either crown him as Chicago's king or drag him into wars that he can't win alone. What stands out about this part of the trailer is Tommy's confidence. He doesn't look scared. He doesn't look cautious. He's walking into rooms like he already owns them. And that's the dangerous beauty of Tommy Egan. He thrives on chaos. He knows that to build something bigger, he has to take risks no one else will. But the streets of Chicago are unpredictable. The more Tommy pushes forward, the more likely it is that someone is waiting in the shadows, planning to take him down. If there is one rivalry in Power Book 4, force that refuses to die, it's the battle between the brothers Diamond and Jenard. The trailer makes it clear that their war is far from over. In fact, Season 3 looks like it will finally push them to a point where blood might be the only answer. The tension between the Sampson brothers has always been one of the strongest storylines in the show because it isn't just about money or power, it's about pride, betrayal, and survival in a city that doesn't forgive weakness. Diamond has always been the brother who wanted order. After his prison release, he tried to rebuild his life, control the CBI with discipline, and prove that he could lead without chaos. Jenard, on the other hand, is reckless, hungry for power, and willing to take shortcuts if it means being on top. These two approaches to leadership have torn the CBI apart, and the trailer shows us that things are about to explode. Shots of Jenard rallying his men, preparing for violence, and looking desperate tell us that he isn't backing down. But at the same time, Diamond's calm, steady presence in the trailer is almost more intimidating. It feels like Diamond has finally accepted that the only way to stop his brother is to destroy him completely. What makes this storyline so unique in Season 3 is the emotional weight behind it. This isn't just two rivals fighting over Chicago. This is family. These are two men who grew up side by side, built their names together, and shared the same streets. Every time they clash, it's personal. And the trailer doesn't shy away from showing us that. You can feel the pain in Diamond's eyes when he talks about loyalty. You can feel Jenard's bitterness when he tries to prove that he can outshine his older brother. Season 3 might finally answer the question fans have been asking since day one. Which brother is strong enough to survive? The trailer also hints at betrayal within Jenard's own circle. There are quick flashes of tension between him and his crew, looks that suggest even his closest men don't fully trust him anymore. This could play a major role in Season 3, because if Jenard loses the loyalty of his soldiers, he doesn't just lose power, he loses everything. Meanwhile, Diamond is shown making moves, aligning himself with stronger forces, and possibly teaming up with Tommy to keep his position secure. That's where the real danger lies for Jenard. Fighting Diamond alone is one thing. Fighting Diamond with Tommy Egan standing by his side, that's a whole new level of war. But here's the tragic part of this storyline: no matter who wins, the Sampson family loses. If Diamond takes out Jenard, he will carry that guilt forever. If Jenard somehow manages to outplay Diamond, he'll rule over an empire built on the ashes of his own bloodline. The streets of Chicago have no mercy. And the trailer is showing us that Season 3 will test the limits of brotherhood in a way that could shatter the CBI completely. Fans should pay close attention to the scenes where the two brothers are shown facing off. The energy is raw, the tension is sharp, and you can feel that this season won't end without something final between them. The war for control of the CBI is no longer about leadership. It's about survival. And only one of the Sampson brothers can walk away. If there's one constant in the Power universe, it's that no alliance ever lasts forever. The trailer for Season 3 of Force proves that once again, because every new hand Tommy shakes could easily be the same one that stabs him in the back. What makes this chapter so fascinating is the way the streets of Chicago are shifting. With Walter Flynn gone and the city's balance of power hanging by a thread, everyone is scrambling to find new partners, new protectors, and new opportunities. That means Season 3 won't just be about building empires, it will be about survival through the right alliances. The first thing the trailer highlights is Tommy stepping into conversations with faces we haven't seen before. These aren't just random street-level hustlers. They look like heavy players, people with resources, men who can open doors but also close them just as fast. It's no secret that Tommy knows how to navigate the dangerous game of partnerships. From his days with Ghost to his first steps in Chicago, he has always balanced trust with paranoia. But this season feels different. The tone in the trailer suggests that Tommy is being forced into partnerships that are riskier than ever. And when you're playing in a city like Chicago, risky alliances almost always end in betrayal. One of the biggest questions this season raises is, who will betray Tommy first? Because make no mistake, someone will. The power formula is built on betrayal, and the trailer shows just enough to make fans suspicious. Quick glimpses of shady meetings, unfinished conversations, and side glances suggest that not everyone around Tommy is loyal. In fact, Season 3 might lean heavier into double crosses than ever before. That's because Tommy is rising too fast. He's making too many moves, shaking too many trees, and putting himself in a position where jealousy, fear, and ambition will push others to plot against him. But Tommy isn't the only one dealing with fragile alliances. Diamond is shown working with people outside of the CBI, possibly even making deals that Jenard would never accept. That opens the door for betrayal inside his own circle. At the same time, the Flints may be down, but they're not out. Claudia, in particular, has always been a master at using alliances for her advantage. Don't be surprised if Season 3 shows her aligning with unexpected partners in order to reclaim her place in the game. Another layer of betrayal could come from within Tommy's closest relationships. His family, JP and D-Mac, are still in the picture. And while they may not be part of the street-level dealings, any misstep involving them could push Tommy into the wrong alliance or force him into decisions that endanger his empire. When family and business mix, betrayal doesn't always come from enemies. It can come from desperate loved ones making desperate choices. The brilliance of this storyline lies in the unpredictability. Every character in Force has their own agenda, and in Season 3, those agendas are colliding at full speed. Tommy's expansion guarantees conflict, and conflict guarantees backstabbing. The real suspense isn't just in watching alliances form, it's in waiting for the moment when those alliances break. In the end, the trailer makes one promise very clear. Trust will be Tommy's most dangerous gamble this season. He needs partners to grow, but every new partner is another potential enemy. And in a city where everyone is playing their own game, betrayal isn't just expected, it's guaranteed. The only question is, when it happens, will Tommy see it coming, or will he be blindsided by the people he let closest to him? Every empire that grows too big eventually attracts the one enemy it can't easily silence: law enforcement. The trailer for Power Book 4 for Season 3 makes it clear that Tommy's biggest battle might not be with gangs, rivals, or even family, it's with the system itself. The streets can be manipulated, bought, or scared into submission. But once the law sets its eyes on you, the game changes completely. From the very beginning, Tommy has thrived in the chaos of the underworld. He understands violence, betrayal, and the rules of survival better than anyone. But the trailer shows scenes of detectives, federal agents, and police units closing in on his empire, and this is a different kind of war. Guns and intimidation don't work the same way against the law. When the system comes after you, it doesn't need bullets, it uses surveillance, investigations, and strategy to tear you down piece by piece. And that's what makes this storyline in Season 3 so dangerous for Tommy. The trailer flashes quick but powerful images and marked cars, agents in suits, evidence boards with photos pinned up, and Tommy's name sitting right in the middle. These aren't straight cops who can be paid off or scared into silence. These are detectives and feds who've been watching, waiting, and building a case. In Season 2, Tommy was able to slide past their grasp, but the pressure was always there in the background. Now, in Season 3, that pressure looks like it's ready to explode. One of the most striking parts of this storyline is how it forces Tommy to play a game he hates caution. Tommy Egan is a man built on aggression, on making the first move, on controlling the streets through power and fear. But when the law is circling, every move has to be calculated. One mistake can bring the whole empire crashing down. That's what makes this so unique compared to the other storylines. This isn't just a war of bullets and blood. It's a war of patience, intelligence, and timing. And let's not forget how law enforcement changes the people around him. In Power, whenever the cops or feds come close, paranoia spreads like wildfire. Friends start to look suspicious. Allies start to feel like liabilities. The fear of someone flipping, someone cutting a deal, or someone becoming an informant is always there. The trailer suggests this paranoia will run deep in Season 3. Tommy might be ready for rival gangs to betray him, but what if the betrayal comes from inside his own circle? From someone looking to save themselves when the feds apply pressure. Another interesting angle the trailer teases is how law enforcement might use Tommy's family as leverage. JP and DMAC have nothing to do with the drug empire, but that doesn't mean they're safe. If the law can't get to Tommy directly, they can threaten his loved ones, dig into their lives, and push Tommy into mistakes. And knowing Tommy, if his family becomes a target, his reaction won't be quiet, it'll be violent. That kind of rage is exactly what law enforcement counts on. Push him into a corner, let him act out, and use that to bring his empire down. This storyline also connects back to the larger Power universe. Ghost, Tariq, Kanan, every major player eventually had to face the same truth. The streets will forgive some mistakes, but the law never forgets. Tommy's journey in Chicago is starting to look like it's following that same path. The more powerful he becomes, the more attention he draws. And the harder it will be to slip through the cracks. Season 3 is positioning law enforcement not as a background threat, but as one of the main antagonists. It's not just about who Tommy fights in the streets anymore, it's about whether he can outsmart a system designed to take him down. And unlike gang wars, this fight has no rules Tommy can bend. He can't shoot his way out of an indictment. He can't intimidate evidence off a courtroom table. The only way out is to be smarter, faster, and more ruthless than ever before. The trailer leaves us with one haunting thought. Tommy might be prepared for a war in the streets. But is he prepared for a war in the courts? Season 3 could very well show us the cracks in his empire, not from bullets, but from the slow tightening grip of law enforcement closing in. And that, more than any rival gang or betrayal, might be the one battle that even Tommy Egan can't win.